starts now.
The online lists of must-see movies are endless. You find debates raging over which version of A Christmas Carol is best. Personally, my favorite is the 1950s film with Alastair Sims. It's common to see Elf, Christmas Vacation, It's a Wonderful Life, and The Grinch appearing on most lists. As another personal note, I think the best Grinch film is the animated 1960s version, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, featuring Boris Karloff as the Grinch and narrator, with animation from the Warner Brothers team that included Chuck Jones. Then there are those debates over whether or not certain films qualify as Christmas films, movies that are set during the Christmas season, like Die Hard, Eyes Wide Shut, and even The Mothman Prophecies. But have you ever wondered what was the first Christmas movie ever made? Have you seen a Christmas film recently that you never knew existed? One film that didn't do as well as the producers hoped is It Happened on Fifth Avenue. Released in 1947, this Christmas-themed story centers on a hobo who sneaks into a mansion on Fifth Avenue while the owners are residing in a warmer climate during the winter. He lives there until the spring, when the owners return. This year sees the hobo taking in several strangers and, unknowingly, the daughter of the owners of the mansion. The owners return, but the daughter convinces her parents to pretend they are hobos themselves. Ironically, her father is the second richest man in the world, but the situation ends up bringing out the humanity and Christmas spirit in everyone. A young Alan Hale Jr. stars in this picture, the actor who would later become famous as the skipper on Gilligan's Island. I didn't even know this film existed until it aired on TCM several years ago. Give it a try. It Happened on Fifth Avenue. Another film that TCM dug out of the vaults, and one that not too many people know about, is A Carol for Another Christmas, a rarity indeed. This is a 1965 TV movie penned by none other than Rod Serling of The Twilight Zone, and directed by Joe Mankiewicz, who happens to be the great-uncle of Ben Mankiewicz, a TV personality whose face you might know from TCM. This film, also starring Peter Sellers, was aired a single time on ABC in 1964, then not aired for 48 years, when TCM helped reacquaint viewers with it in 2012. Robert Shaw, who played Quint in the movie Jaws, stars as the Ghost of Christmas Future. Also on the roster are actors Ben Gazzara and Eva Marie Saint. It gets better. Henry Mancini, who also composed the Pink Panther music, wrote the score. And the film was actually the first of a series of television specials commissioned by the United Nations. The idea at the time was to educate viewers about the mission and the work of the UN, but using a modernized take on Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. You might have to dig to find this one. I've seen it available at least a couple of times on YouTube. How about some cinematic firsts? Widely believed to represent the first Christmas movie is something called Santa Claus, a British-made film in 1898. Another from that era is A Christmas Carol from 1901, also a British film. Both are silent pictures and can be seen on YouTube at the BFI National Archives channel. Then there was the 1905 version of The Night Before Christmas, an American product with a running time of 9 minutes, and that was distributed by the Edison Manufacturing Company. And there's a unique variety of 5 Christmas cinematic treasures that will fascinate any film buff, especially one who enjoys content that's somewhat off the beaten path during the Christmas season. Visit stephenchristiansen.ca for more episodes. This podcast is available on all premium streaming platforms including Anchor, Google, Spotify, TuneIn, and Amazon Music. I'm Stephen Christiansen. Thanks for listening, and have a safe and happy holiday season.
Production of Stephen Christensen. Podcast complete.